Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today we are diving deep into a really massive new residential project that's got a lot of people talking. It's a huge development with a pretty clear vision for a new way to live. So let's just get right into it. This is Project Empire.
All right, so first things first. Where in the world is this happening? You know, location is everything. An Empire is set up in Velamila. Now, for those who know the area, that's right near Hyderabad's Outer Ring Road, the ORR, specifically at Exit 2. And this isn't just some random spot, right? The sources are really clear that this is a major growth corridor, which makes this location a huge piece of the puzzle.
So what's the big idea here? What's the promise? Well, it all starts with this question they're posing. What if you didn't have to choose? What if you could have that quiet, peaceful, serene place to live, but also have every possible modern amenity right at your doorstep? What if you could actually have both?
And bam! Here's their answer. The whole vision is summed up right here. They want to create a true, gated community for relaxed comfort and cozy living and style. So this tells you right away, they're not just building homes. They're trying to build a very specific, very comfortable lifestyle.
Now, to really get a sense of the sheer scale we're talking about, you just have to look at the numbers. First up, 2,652. That's the total number of homes planned for this project. It's huge, but how is all that organized?
Well, those 2,000-plus homes are going to be spread out across a whopping 11 different apartment blocks. So we're talking about a sprawling community, not just one giant building. And then there's this number, 17.5. The project documents refer to it as 17.5 steels. Now, the source doesn't define the exact unit, but it's clearly an internal metric they're using to quantify just how massive this construction effort really is. It gives you a feel for the scale.
Okay, so we know it's massive, but what can you actually live in? Well, the project basically gives you two very different options, designed for two different lifestyles.
So you've got two main choices. On one hand, you have Adithri's Empire apartments. These are your 2 and 3 BHK, bedroom, hall, kitchen units, really geared towards that community living feel. And on the other hand, you have the Empire Royal Villas. These are G+2, so ground plus 2 more floors, big triplex homes built for exclusivity and privacy.
Okay, let's zoom in on the apartments. We're talking luxury 2 and 3 BHKs. But here's a detail you really need to see, the UDS, or undivided share of land. This is so important. It's the actual piece of the land that you legally own. For the 1,250 square foot apartments, it comes out to about 23.89 square yards. For the bigger 1,665 square foot ones, you're looking at 31.82. And crucially, construction is ongoing as we speak.
Now, over to the villas. These are part of Phase 2, and they get their own dedicated 4-acre plot of land. Like we said, these are big G+2 triplex homes. And you've got two main sizes, one with 3,350 square feet of space on a 211 square yard plot, and an even bigger one at 4,000 square feet on a 267 square yard plot.
But you know, a project like this is never just about the 4 walls you live in. It's about the entire lifestyle. And that is where the amenities come into play.
And wow, when they say amenities, they are not kidding. The list is just huge. I mean, look at this. You've got your swimming pool, an amphitheater, cricket nets, a spa, and a gym. For families, there's a creche and kids' play areas. You've got a library, a jogging track, multi-use courts for stuff like basketball or tennis, a dedicated space for senior citizens, even banquet halls. The goal is pretty obvious, right? They're building a world where you might never want to leave.
All right, that all sounds incredible, but let's get down to brass tacks. Let's talk about the investment. For this explainer, we're going to break down the specific pricing for those exclusive royal villas.
Okay, before I show you the price, you need to know this term, OTP. It stands for one-time payment, and what it means is this is a special lower price that you can get if you're able to pay the full amount, 100% of the cost, up front, usually within about 30 days.
So with that in mind, here is the number. The base OTP rate for these villa plots is 7,499 rupees per square yard. And get this, the sources are very clear that this price already includes the cost of all those amazing amenities we just went through.
So let's just do the math real quick so you can see how it works. For that 211 square yard villa, you multiply it by the rate, and you get a total of just over 15.8 lakh rupees. For the bigger 267 square yard option, same calculation, and you're at just over 20 lakh rupees. And this is the part you absolutely cannot forget. It's a really important disclaimer. While that price covers the land and the amenities, it is not the final number. You still have to add things like government taxes, GST, and the official registration charges on top of that.
Always remember the extras. So, we've seen the scale, the lifestyle, and the investment details. What's the actual opportunity on the table right now? Let's get into the final details, and this is where things get a bit time-sensitive.
And here's the kicker. According to the source material for these royal villas, there are only 6 units currently available. That's it, just 6. That number really highlights just how exclusive this particular offer is.
And to make it even more specific, all 6 of those available units are west-facing. So for anyone who's seriously considering this right now, the choice is very, very specific.
And just to circle back and really hammer home why this location is so strategic, think about your commute. We're talking a 10-minute drive to Neapolis, a major IT zone, and just 15 minutes to the Wipro Junction. For anyone working in tech in that area, that proximity is a massive advantage. So there you have it. We've covered the ambitious scale, the 2 different ways to live with apartments and villas, that incredible world of amenities, and the nitty-gritty investment details. It's a complete vision for a self-contained luxury community, which really just leaves one big question that you have to ask yourself. Is the Empire lifestyle right for you?